My mom says, suck your stomach in, dress up, the hair, the makeup. You're a woman first and a human being second. This was my deep and only identity. Mom's training caught me one particular boy who was the love of my life. I still think so, because I was so ignorant about the kind of pain that the relationship was going to bring. I let myself go, and I became so attached. By the time he was done with me, I didn't have an original thought in my mind. Reflecting him, listening to him, pleasing him, all flexible, needless. There was, however, a deep terror. I could feel my body fading out. I drank alcohol regularly until I vomited up, keeping the emptiness of a hollow self to a dull roar. Then, one day, I was at a bus station. As I walked towards the Coke machine, I was startled. It was about 10 feet away and 7 feet tall. Orangish, yellowish, upside down. It was a figure vibrating with light, larger than the Coke machine, head pointed. It had no face. The legs were wrapped around each other, and vines tethered them. I jumped back, and I looked around to see if anyone else saw it. No one noticed it. I thought, I must be losing my mind. Suddenly, the figure rotated slowly, like the hand of a clock, right side up, and where eyes should have been, shot beams of light at me, and I jumped back, and I actually cried out. It was one of those things that you don't tell anybody. As a result of my deteriorating life, I was evaluated for bipolar disorder around that time. And one of the questions they ask you is if you have ever seen anything that wasn't there or that others did not see. I reluctantly said yes and was diagnosed bipolar 1, the bad kind. I told a priest about the figure once, and he told me that it was an evil being, a visit from the devil. And he added that his wife wouldn't wear skirts as short as mine. 1 year later, I saw the figure in an image on a tarot deck in a metaphysics store. It was dangling upside down from a tree on a tarot card called the Hanged Man. Its legs were even orange. I took up reading the tarot, but rebelled at the image being a male, the hanged man. So I looked more into the symbol. Artemis, the Greek goddess of the moon and of music, has a power to emanate or even throw moonbeams from her eyes, and sometimes dangled from a tree in the temple of Ephesus during her moon rituals. A few years later, I began reluctantly to write songs when I sobered up. I felt so safe and perfect when I would paint my face white to perform, which I learned was done by Artemis's priestesses. Over my life, I've sketched my suspended self with the concerns of my life swirling around my body and the emotions colored into the spaces to plan my day and to guide my way. Last time I went to a psychiatrist, he categorically reversed my diagnosis as bipolar 1, upwriting decades of this upside-down, confused moon self of mine. He said that such encounters, visions, actually happen more often than we think, that a good chunk of the population has such experiences, and they are now seen to be something other than a psychotic break, because generally they aren't completely destabilizing for the personality. So then, tonight, I affirm my Artemis. I affirm the moon vision, the moon songs, safety, to that part that hunts for nurture in the dark, in the unknown, with eyes filled with moonlight.